Hey there, I'm Will Allred, and welcome to One Email, Two Takes. I'm usually joined by my co-host, Christina Fensath. She's out on personal leave, and so for this episode, I've got a single email where I've made two rewrites. Um, Now, usually on these episodes, we break down an email, rewrite them twice. This episode, I've taken a single email and I've made a couple different versions of that for y'all to see some different ways to think through it. One is a little bit about simplifying the original message, and the other is an entire reframe of the initial message. So to give you some context on me, I'm Will Allred. I'm one of the co-founders at a company called Lavender. Lavender helps sales reps write better emails faster. Think of it like an in-inbox writing assistant. So we provide everything you need to write a better email faster. With that, one of the awesome parts of my job is I get to share a lot of the cool data that goes through our system and actually powers a lot of the recommendations that I make here within these writing examples. So without further ado, let me show you an email that someone sent me last week. So here's the original email. You should be able to see it here. Hey, blank, saw your company doesn't have chat on product pages or the shopping cart. Is that an intentional strategy? Some e-com leaders remove it from these pages because it's difficult to staff, but we've seen that it hurts our partners' conversion rates not having it. A case study company was in a similar spot. When they added 24/7 chat across their site, they increased conversions by 44%. With your push towards doubling e-com sales, I'm curious if this is something you've tried. That's the rep. I actually really like this email. It's an observation. It leads into a question of curiosity around, is that an intentional strategy? You're really trying to stir up a conversation. Then it provides a layer of credibility here. So some e-commerce leaders are removing it from those pages, basically saying, I understand where you're coming from. I get why you don't have it, but you're leaving money on the table. Then providing a clean case study of here's a company that was in a similar spot, something that you can relate to. They added this, they saw actionable results. And then there's this nice personalization lens at the bottom of, given you're pushing towards doubling your e-commerce sales, I'm curious if this is something that you've tried. I actually leveraged this within the second rewrite where I pushed that to the top. But the first thing I wanted to do was rewrite to just remove some of the fluff from the writing. So first take on it was, saw blank doesn't have chat on product pages or the shopping cart. Curious, is that intentional? That actually should be on the same line. Curious, is that intentional? E-com leaders usually remove it because it's difficult to staff. We've seen that not having it hurts conversions. Case study company is a great example of this. By adding our 24/7 chat, they increased conversions by 44%. Given you're pushing to double e-com sales, let me know if this resonates. One of the reasons I changed that CTA is we've got tons of data going through our system, and there's actually a significant drop-off in response rates when you ask two questions. We're not necessarily sure exactly why that's happening, but if you're looking at the math and you're looking at your writing, this is a clean way to break that thinking up. So your CTA doesn't always have to be a question. It can be a statement. The implied need for a response, given you're reaching out cold, is an easy way to generate that. So this is the first rewrite. Reduce some of the complexity in the writing, just streamlined it down some, and then reduce the question count, which the data would tell you both of those things are very impactful when it comes to improving your response rate. Now let's look at the second rewrite. So the second rewrite focused on the other lens for why you're reaching out. And so instead of having that reason hide out at the bottom, it might be that pushing for 2x e-com sales is top priority right now, right? And so I wanted to bring that up to the top as opposed to burying that lead at the bottom. And then layering in the fact that we understand that they don't have the live chat on their site. So, hey, certain name, I read you're pushing to 2x e-com sales. I suspect you've looked at website optimizations. Was live chat a part of this? Case study company didn't have live chat on key pages when we met. They thought it would be difficult to staff. We showed them just how easy it can be with our company. We added 24/7 chat support to the product and shopping cart pages. Their conversions went up by 44% during the trial. Let me know if it makes sense to connect. So again, that CTA is a statement, not a question, because emails with 0 or 1 question tend to get the exact same reply rate. And so I'm sort of rethinking how that's shaped, but I'm moving that personalization trigger up to the top, right? It's implied that I know that the live chat is not necessarily there. And so I'm referencing something else to trigger that personalization. The other language that I really like here, and I got it from a guy named Bob Shanes, is I suspect you've looked at site optimizations. It's like, listen, I'm sure you're really good at what it is that you do. I'm sure you've looked at this, but was live chat a part of this? So you're showing that like you've done your research and you've thought about it. You've shown a layer of curiosity, and then you're bringing into the fold the fact that I understand that you probably haven't done this for the following reason. You're showing credibility through storytelling, through your case study. I particularly like this email. So I didn't want to change up too much. But one last thing to cover just before I finish talking about this is how I talked through the case study. I think this is a really helpful framework for people to understand. It's actually very similar to how you'd respond to a job interview. So the framework is BAR: background, action, results. And what's happening here is, okay, so I'm providing background. This case study company didn't have live chat on key pages because they thought it would be difficult. Then the action, which is they added our product with 24/7 live chat support. And then the result, they saw 44% more conversion. So this is a really clean way where you don't have to link out to a case study or even say the words case study. You think about classic sales messaging, hey, go click through to this messaging, go click through and read this case study. Most of the time people are going to do it. They don't want to. And so instead of having them opt in, you're providing the information up front so they'd have to opt out. And that's going to create a higher rate of conversion for you and just more success. So hopefully you like these 2 rewrites. We'll be back next week with another one, but stay subscribed, and until next week, we'll see you again.